All right, what's up, everybody? It's Geoff Grammer with the Albuquerque Journal, and you are watching the pregame show about 55 minutes before tip-off. And that was, for those that didn't know, that was Santa Claus welcoming us to the pit, where the VCU Rams 9-2 will be playing against the UNM Lobos tonight. And that was Frank Mercogliano, the UNM Sports Information Director, who dresses up like Santa Claus for one game every year, and tonight is that game. I am sitting lower than normal. Normal, the press row seat up there. You could actually see the court a little better from up there. Just for this pregame show, I'm down on court side. Then I'll be moving up to my regular spot up top. But anyway, for now, we are sitting courtside. The Lobos are warming up right now. VCU was just out here warming up on this side, and they just ran up the ramp doing some of their pregame preparations for tonight's game. Should be a good game. The Lobos, last I saw all thing, or the line rather, was Lobos by 3.5. I think Ken Palm has this as a 1-point game, so it should be close. VCU is rated higher in the net, and all the computer rankings. VCU is rated higher. The Lobos, obviously playing here in the pit, give them a little bit of an advantage, and we'll see, what that entails, what that means. I will tell you right now, and you can see it. Some of you might be able to see it. I know some people maybe already in the arena can see it. But as of right now, there is one Lobo who is not suited up tonight. He is dribbling the basketball straight ahead right now from where I am sitting. And he doesn't appear to be limping, doesn't appear anything along those lines to be wrong with him that I can tell. But I have not been told exactly what is going on with True Washington. And, man, they could use True tonight. I don't know why he's not suited up tonight. I've not been told yet. I will find out. Hopefully soon. And there you go, Tomas Cerna. All good with True. I don't know, unfortunately. Over there, he is in his warm-ups, and I'm looking around right now to see if I can find somebody who might be able to shed some light on it. But anyway, I'll shoot a text while we're talking here. And GCU Christmas curse could be the game before Christmas has been. I've written about it 4 times, maybe 5, I think, in the 13 seasons I've covered Lobo basketball. I've written about it 4 or 5 times anyway. And the game before Christmas, the Lobos are awful. They're generally awful. They've lost it to bad teams. They've lost the game to good teams. They've had some horrible losses in how they happened. Called the timeout once against Rice that they didn't have. Tim Williams did. Got a technical for that. Ended up losing the game to a bad Rice team that year. Get blown out in Hawaii one year on Christmas Eve, and then on Christmas Day too, when they were playing in the Diamond Head Classic. So this game before Christmas is snuck up on the Lobo. I say snuck up. It can't really sneak up on you when you know about it, when you know about the curse, right? So it's gotten the best of the Lobos a lot of times through the years. And we'll see if it does tonight. Obviously, the hope for the Lobos would be that it doesn't. The hope for the Lobos and their fans would be that the wake-up call came about a week and a half ago now, right? If the San Jose State game, when they were 20-point favorites and struggled till the end, end up winning by, 8? I think was the final margin, which deceptively, it was closer than that. And the Lobos were favored by 8. Favored by 20 and won by 8. So, that game wasn't good. If that wasn't the wake-up call, 3 days later when they lost as a 20-point favorite to New Mexico State in overtime, better have been the wake-up call. So I get the sense that they have had their wake-up call. We shall see. Christmas, the GCU Christmas curse, it was not even really GCU. It's happened so many other times. It's not just the Grand Canyon game, although it did happen once at Grand Canyon as well under Craig Neal. Expected crowd tonight, I would guess. I think the announced crowd, meaning tickets out, will get up into the 11,000 range. I don't expect an actual crowd of more than probably 8,000 or 9,000. Which is fine. I know Lobo fans look at these numbers and talk about, I remember when it was 18,000 every single night. It's never been 18,000 every single night. I know some of you don't even like hearing me say that, but in going on 60 years of the pit being open, the pit has averaged 17,000 just 8 times and only averaged more than 17,300 once. I think they averaged 17,600 one year So no, it's not been 18,000 every night, and since the renovation, it certainly hasn't even been 15,000, which is capacity, 15,411's capacity now. So yeah, it used to be way bigger crowds, but between finals and Christmas, even in those 18,000 seat memories of everybody's, I'm telling you, I have the box scores, I have the attendance figures. These games never got good attendance. Now, that's all relative, right? Good attendance for any school in the country almost would be us talking about, maybe getting 9,000, maybe announcing 11,000. People would die for that any time of the year, but especially the between finals and Christmas crowd. But Lobo fans are a unique bunch. I get it. There's a lot of pride, but a lot of revisionist history too. I've looked at the numbers. The numbers this time of year have never been what Lobo fan seems to remember. So there we go. As far as what I expect for a crowd, as you said, Pitt fan on X, I do think it'll be probably about 8,000-9,000. This is a good team they're playing. It is a weeknight. It is, which isn't usually as good as a Saturday night game, but it is after finals. Student section over there, so far is empty. Of course, we're 50 minutes away from the game time, so it wouldn't be full now anyway. But a lot of students are gone. To my knowledge, Jason Eck, the new football coach, will be announced. Probably either the under 12 or under 8 timeout in the first half. He'll go out onto the court and they'll announce him. Get a nice little round of applause for whoever is here, and we'll see how that goes. I know just a couple games ago, Fernando Lobo, new athletic director, had the same introduction and got a nice little round of applause. I believe that was the New Mexico State game, to be honest, and maybe if it was, maybe it was the San Jose State game. I'll give him that. I think it was the San Jose State game, so they actually didn't lose at least. But man, they didn't have a good game with Fernando's wave to the crowd night. So maybe the Lobos will have a better game tonight with X wave to the crowd kind of night. So let's see here. Justin Martinez is asking on X, Geoff, any thoughts on the bench guys playing a lot tonight? I think Dotson, especially without True, will get plenty of minutes tonight. I don't think Dotson's the guy who's going to get the minutes. I think they got big guards. They got really good big guards, two of them in particular that are averaging almost 40 a night combined. Max Shulga is a potential All-American candidate, certainly an All-Atlantic 10 Player of the Year candidate. Their other guard is actually averaging, I think, just a tick more points per game right now. I'm trying to see what the averages points-wise are, but Joe Masil, who is a 6'4 guard, he's at 17.2 points per game, and Max Shulga, the 6'5 guard, is at 16.5. I don't think Kate Dodson's the guy you put in there to combat two 6'4 and 6'5 guards. I think you keep Donovan Denton as long as you possibly can tonight. They're going to need him. Again, the Lobos may be favored by 3.5. Ken Pom picks them as a 1-point favorite. This is a team that lost in Nevada, just beat Colorado State, and was picked to win the Atlantic 10. This is a really, really good Virginia Commonwealth team and a tremendous defensive team. So, yeah, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I do think Kate Dotson will get some run tonight, but I don't think it'll be in lieu of minutes for anybody or for Donovan necessarily. Obviously, he is the backup point guard, so there will be some time that he is on the court to spell Donovan Dent. But I actually don't think Donovan will be playing any less than my guess would be a good 35 minutes tonight. They're going to need him. They got 10 days off, remember, after this. So plenty of time to rest after this game for the Lobos. They don't play again until December 28th in Fort Collins when they open Mountain West play against Colorado State. And then things will get really rolling, right? I don't think there's going to be a minutes restriction on anybody tonight other than the two that we've already talked about, the walk-ons who aren't playing. I say two. Just because I happen to see Daraji Akbanosi across the way, but he's been out all year with a shoulder injury. So the walk-ons aren't going to play. And then True Washington is not suited up tonight. I have not yet been told why. I will ask and see what the word is on that. I see JJ Buck walking by right now, and the voice of the women Lobos. And how's it going? I didn't hear. I'm doing good. Talking to people right now about True Washington not suiting up, and I don't know why. So trying to send a message right now to see if I can figure out why True Washington is not going. So then I will let you guys know if I find out why he is not going. sent the message. We'll see if we get an answer here. We got the pregame going. Fans are starting to come in right now. We got 45 minutes before tip-off, and trying to see. None of the assistants right now down here on the court are going to come over and tell me. Not on camera, so I'm hoping that I get a text message back. Word on true. I can tell you right now that if you look to this side, we got VCU coming down the pit ramp right now. Let me get this off the screen here. Got VCU coming down to warm up. I will keep the camera for now on this side, showing the Lobos warming up here. But VCU's a big team. Really, really good defensively. If I pull up the KenPom numbers, I think they were 7th as of yesterday. Last I looked, I haven't looked today, but right now in terms of defensive efficiency, VCU is ranked out of 364 Division I teams. They are ranked 7th in the country right now. This is a tremendous defensive team. They hold teams to 42.9 effective field goal percentage. For those that don't know, effective field goal percentage is basically weights three-pointers as a basket and a half, essentially. So I'm being told that the official word on one True Washington is he is day-to-day with a lower body injury. We're going the hockey route on this and not being too specific on what the injury is, I guess. And officially, True Washington is out tonight with a lower body injury. So there we go. I am told that he did try and go and shoot around today and wasn't able to go. So 10-day rest again after this. I imagine that with the 10-day rest, it's certainly play it safe a little bit. There's no reason to go. It's easy for me to say that. This is a tough game, man. They need him. They need him tonight. And this wouldn't be a horrible loss per se. It is on your home court, but this isn't going to hurt your computer ratings. VCU is a good enough team. This is not going to hurt the computers if you lose this game. But man, you don't have a whole lot of opportunities in league play this year to get quad ones and quad twos and really quality opponent wins. So the Lobos could really use this one, and not having True Washington it's going to hurt him. He is a big, tough defender, and they need that with these two big guards that VCU has. Who, when I say big, tough guards, they use it as such. They're not just 6'4" and 6'5". They're big and strong, and they'll post you up. They'll back you down. VCU does hit some threes, obviously, but a tremendous defensive team, and they'll get physical with you. So we'll see how this game is called. They do foul a lot. Opponents get most of their points. I shouldn't say most, but a relative high percentage from the free throw line. The Lobos would love to get going at the free throw line. While they've struggled with the free throw line, they're actually shooting better than their opponents this year at the free throw line, and that's a good way to kind of get going if you're a struggling shooter is at the free throw line. They're going to have plenty of opportunities today. It was asked the other day in a press conference. There's really 3 guys shooting a ton of free throws for this team, and it's Mustafa Amzil, Donovan Dent, and Nelly Jr. Joseph. Well, Donovan Dent has never shot in the 70s at the free throw line in his young career. He's in his 3rd year now. Nelly Jr. Joseph has never shot in the 70s. So those 2 guys are shooting at their career averages. They're 65 to 68% free throw shooters, and that's what they're shooting now. And I think people sort of need to accept that a little bit. They're going to go to the line a lot, but they may not be the best of free throw shooters. You got Mustafa Amzil, who can hit them and has been getting to the line a lot and needs to be given a lot of credit, frankly. Mustafa Amzil offensively has been a tremendous asset to this team, to the Lobos this year, and a lot better than I would expect coming in. So good for him. He still is very much not a 5 defensively, that's for sure. I'm trying to get this camera set up so you can kind of see them working out. But anyway, free throw wise, there'll be a lot of free throws shot tonight by the Lobos. And there we go. What do we got here? Lobo Fish, you're welcome. Thank you for watching. We do got a pregame show going on most every game now. And we got the next one's a road game at Colorado State and Fort Collins. I plan to bring the gear there, and we'll do a little pregame there as well. So little pregame footage. Yes, John's right. Little pregame footage. Again, fans are slowly trickling in. I do not expect there to be I'm doubting there'll be 10,000 in here tonight. I think it will be announced at 11,000, but I miss sitting up in the mezzanine with 8,000 back in the day. The back in the day crowds were huge. I agree with that. They were a lot bigger, and they're bigger than tonight. So Let's see what else we got here. The Jason Eck, that is true. That is definitely a rumor, and whoa, wouldn't that be something, right? If Jason Eck, there are rumblings at Washington State, who lost their head coach today, and really wants Jason Eck, who just was named the UNM coach. Wouldn't that be something if, formal introductory press conference yesterday for Jason Eck, and then he decides to take the Washington State job? That'd be pretty crazy. It certainly would be as of now. That's the reason I asked, but as of right now, he is expected to be introduced tonight. He's expected to be introduced tonight here in the pit to Lobo fans, and we shall see. Nothing has officially changed as of yet with Jason Eck, but there are a lot of options for Washington State as well. It's not just Jason Eck, although he wouldn't even have to get a new house. He lives 6 miles from where I guess Washington State plays, is what I saw somebody say. So there we go. Ryan Odom owns the Lobos. It's 4-0 against the Lobos. Ryan Odom is the coach of VCU. This will be the first time he plays as the VCU coach, but he did play the Lobos 4 times when he was the Utah State coach. They played once in the Mountain West tournament. Utah State beat the Lobos in the quarterfinals in Las Vegas. Sorry, just a minute. And then Ryan Odom beat the Lobos twice in Logan. And there was one time in the pit that Ryan Odom played the Lobos, January 8, 2022, I think it was. Or 2021 maybe, whatever it was an overtime win for Utah State when Richard Pitino was not here. He was diagnosed with COVID and stayed home. So the only time they've actually played here in the pit with Ryan Odom coaching, Pitino was not here. But Ryan Odom is 4-0 against the Pitino-led Lobos, even though Pitino wasn't here for one of them. He is 4-0 against the Lobos, and this will be the first time they play with him as the VCU coach. And again, VCU is coming in. Like I said, last I saw the betting line was at 3.5 for the Lobos, but much closer if you look at predictive analytics like Ken Palm at one point. I think 77-76 was Ken Palm's prediction, and we'll see how that turns out a little closer to game time for the Vegas line, which I'll pull it up right now just to make sure that it hasn't changed. Let's see. Get fresh on my tab here. Yeah, still 3.5. Over under at 151.5, which is fine. VCU's a really, really good, tenacious defensive team. They force a lot of turnovers. If you look at strength for strength or strength for weakness, one strength of VCU defensively is that they do force turnovers, right? They force an awful lot of turnovers this year. If you look at the Lobos offensively, they've been really good at not turning the ball over. They're ranked in their turnover rate. They're at 15.7%, which ranks 71st in the country out of 364 teams. If you look at defensively, the turnover rate for VCU, they're turning teams over at a 22.1% clip, which ranks 12th nationally. They're turning teams over a lot, and the Lobos aren't turning it over a lot. So that's kind of a strength for strength battle worth watching. If you want to look at a strength versus weakness sort of battle. One huge weakness for the Lobos so far this year has been their three-point defense. Teams are shooting 38.8% against them. That ranks 348 out of 364 teams in the country. And while VCU doesn't necessarily shoot a ton of them, they are shooting 32.4%, and they're ranked 208 there. So that's kind of a weakness for. It's not necessarily a strength for VCU, but not a weakness by any means. I don't really see any other. One more strength versus weakness. And that's something I mentioned earlier. Weakness for VCU is that they foul a lot at a high rate. 36% is their foul rate. That ranks 243rd in the country. Foul rate is your free throw attempts divided by your field goal attempts. So basically, if you're taking more free throws, if the team's taking more free throws than field goals attempted, then they have a really high foul rate. That happens when you're drawing a lot of fouls. Or that happens defensively when you're committing a lot of fouls, right? VCU ranks 243rd in free throw rate. So they do commit a lot of fouls with their physical style, but it hasn't hurt them because obviously they're ranked 7th in defensive efficiency. In terms of a weakness, though, if you call that a weakness versus strength, the Lobos are at 40.4% in free throw rate, meaning they draw a lot of fouls. They get to the line a lot. It is, what can they do with those, right? Is Nelly gonna miss a lot? Is Nelly gonna hit a lot? Is Donovan gonna go 5 for 7, or is Donovan gonna go 5 for 9, 5 for 10? Those are the things to watch. If you can stay at 75% when you're Donovan Dent, if you can stay at about even just 60% if you're Nelly, but drawing 6 or 7 fouls like he has some games, that would certainly benefit the Lobos because you get them in foul trouble. That's one of his biggest assets to the team, not necessarily even converting on the free throws, just getting teams in foul trouble as much as he has been a huge asset. And then Mustafa Amzil, if he can get to the line with regularity, that would be great for the Lobos as well. He is a high percentage free throw shooter, so that's good. 2 other guys, though, one of them's not playing tonight, True Washington, but True Washington and CJ Nolan play enough and have high volume enough minutes that they need to be drawing more fouls. It's something Richard Pitino said at a press conference yesterday, that those 2 guys probably need to be getting to the line a little bit more. We won't see that tonight, obviously, with True Washington not playing, but we may see that with CJ Nolan, who can attack the rim a little bit more. He attacks the rim well in transition. Doesn't give it up a whole lot in terms of passing it in transition, but it's because he's a good finisher and has finished well. So I'm not blaming him on not necessarily passing it there. In the half court, though, you need to, if you're going to be attacking in the half court, you need to be drawing that foul if you're not going to be finishing. And CJ could probably do a little better job with that. I do think CJ's been just a tremendous add for the Lobos. So don't think I'm necessarily being overly critical of what CJ's done. I do think one thing he could work on is probably drawing a little more contact, drawing some fouls a little bit more than he has been, and get to the free throw line because he's a tremendous free throw shooter. So there we go with that. A couple other comments here. BJ Rains, the godfather of Mountain West courtside through the internet shows, who I've leaned on a lot to kind of get some advice on some of this stuff. And damn it, if those microphone issues weren't me doing something really stupid that I'll tell BJ about sometime off the air as to why I was having so much background noise previously and the stupid thing I was doing that I didn't realize. But yeah, so BJ with the Boise State Broncos, who, by the way, how cool is it that BJ got to cover not only a really good college football season with the Boise State Broncos, and got covering the college football playoffs, but got to cover the Heisman ceremony. It's one of those deals that it may not be the coolest thing in the world in person, but man, it's a box to check if you're a sports writer, right? It's certainly a cool thing that you get to say you did. And Ashley Genty did not win the Heisman. Obviously, we know that by now, but pretty cool that that BJ got to go cover that. I'm pulling up right now the stats because I didn't even have it open on my screen. I thought I did, but the referees tonight for this VCU and UNM Lobo game, I haven't even seen them down here yet, but Mike Reed, Vern Harris, and Amy Bonner. So a couple of the regulars, a couple of the A-listers of Mountain West refereeing. Mike Reed, Vern Harris. Amy has certainly done Mountain West games. I don't think she's done a whole lot of New Mexico games. If I'm not mistaken, I mean, I could scroll through KenPom and see how many New Mexico games she's done, but if I'm not mistaken, my guess would be she might have had 2 or 3 last year. I don't know that she's had one this year, but I don't recall her doing more than just a couple. So we'll see how that goes. Vern's as good as they get. Mike's good too. These are some Final Four referees. So, I'm all for both of those refs. I know Lobo fan is, but let's see what we got here. When things get a little stagnant on offense, I wouldn't mind seeing Enfield post up more, i.e. Dirk. I agree with you there. Enfield's a guy that I think fell in love a little too much with the three-point shot at times, even when he was struggling with it last year, and wouldn't go inside. Now, this year, he has rebounded a whole lot better. He's turned into a really good, I won't say very good, but really good plus rebounder for the Lobos this year. And I wish, he's showing he's not afraid to go kind of mix it up inside a little bit when he does that. But I do, like you said, Eddie Brock on YouTube, and I don't think it's Eddie Brock, but I would say I wish that would translate a little more to his offense, because I think you're right. He could mix it up offensively a little more back to the basket game, maybe trying to score at the rim a little bit more than he has been. And I think for now, though, he's shown a willingness to kind of mix it up inside. So maybe he could do that a little more offensively. That could help. I do think, though, the Lobos like in general philosophy and in principle of what they're doing with their principles offensively is what I'm trying to say. I think they like keeping the lane as spread out as they can. They like spreading it out and only having Nelly down there. I don't think they like clogging that lane a whole lot, because they like Donovan being able to penetrate if he can. You got 2 bigs down there. gets a little tougher. But obviously, we all know that it doesn't mean Amsdale can't play down low a little bit more than he has been. So I agree with you there. Buy Coach Eck a Laguna burger for me tonight. I will pass that word along to somebody here with one of the boosters. They can go buy him a Laguna burger, and I'm guessing that he would like that. So I don't know if it's a green chili guy. We'll find out. Is this Q's big night then? How are his defensive stats? I don't see this as Q's big night. I do think as of right now it could change, but as of right now, if there's a 12th man on the 12-man roster, it's Q. It's Quentin Webb. He could, however, matchup-wise, not be the 12th man tonight. But then who is? Is it Jovan, a guy who's coming off a 21-point game 4 days ago, Mountain West Freshman of the Week? Quentin Webb right now, I think, sort of lost in the shuffle. Can't play everybody kind of thing, but he is a guy, because they have big guards that can score, that I think could see some minutes tonight. But, just being realistic with it, it's also worth pointing out that I think Quentin is the 12th man on the 12th-man roster right now. So, BJ, appreciate it. Geoff is the man. Hope the Mexico fans realize how great they have it with him covering the team. I tell them every day, BJ, they don't seem to get the message very well, but I tell them constantly. And while you guys are watching, I got to get this. This is mounted a little weird today on my camera. While you guys are watching VCU warm up, let me give you guys something a little different over here with Jack Patino and the Lobo Ball Boys warming up down here. Let's see what they got going on over here. And Jack Patino thinks he owns the place. And see who else down there. I guess the only two I recognize are Jack Patino on the far right now, and Ethan Felton at the top of the key right now. He is Tarvish Felton's son. They're the two Lobo Ball Boys who, again, they think they run this place. They might. They certainly do more than I. But those are the guys that you see out there all the time. Richie's at work right now. I can't make it to the game, or at least not right now. He's wearing his Lobo gear to represent the Lobos. Good for you, Richie. They're going to need it. The slow-filing crowd's getting a little slow. It's still a half hour before game time. I'm not going to worry about it too much, but it won't be a jam-packed crowd. People expecting that, I can guarantee you it will not be. But look, if they can get 9,000 or 10,000 on a Wednesday night between finals and Christmas, it's a pretty good number that a lot of schools around the country would love right now. It is a good game right now. The schedule too. It's one of the few really good games. It's the only Mountain West game tonight, but this week and these kind of weeks between finals and Christmas don't usually have really good matchups. Frankly, a lot of sometimes you sneak in that's when you sneak in the Western New Mexico's like they did on Saturday, and you sneak in a couple bye games. Usually, this is not a bye game. This is a home and home, where next year the Lobos will be traveling to Richmond and playing in Virginia, and it's a good home and home. There's two good teams in the non-power ranks that I think the fact that they're playing each other is a good thing for college basketball, and I appreciate them for doing so. So there we go. Just a little bit of a setup, not obviously too in depth tonight in terms of the setup, and did not have a guest as I was hoping, but Eddie, good news. Snake is in the house. I'm trying to see if, he's over there in the student section right now. Snake is over there. And in fact, I am a little disappointed in Snake right now, because when I walked in, I got here before the VCU bus got here, and Snake obviously is not allowed to come in. He cannot come into the pit until the visiting bus gets here, so he can go yell at them, right? And Snake told me he was going to come by the show tonight and speak to the masses, speak to his people, and talk to Lobo fans everywhere about his predictions. He is, I will tell you, he also is a Minnesota Vikings fan, he told me. I did not know that. He was watching some Minnesota sports show recently, or listening. They were talking Vikings mostly, but then they came on and talked Minnesota basketball, which obviously Richard Pitino used to coach. And somebody said they got to get rid of their coach, and I wonder if they'll get a guy like Tim Miles or Nico Medved, coincidentally both Mountain West coaches. The reason their names are up there is because they would both love that Minnesota job. And so, Snake and I were talking coaching openings that haven't even occurred yet, and who the replacements are going to be. And Snake's prediction is either Tim Miles or Nico Medved will get the Minnesota job. That is not yet open. And I will tell you, of those two, I would guess they go with Nico Medved. He recently got an extension, and I don't know what the buyout situation is. Certainly a bigger buyout than anything Tim Miles can have at San Jose State. And Tim Miles has been in the Big Ten before, so that's an advantage to him. But I would be a little bit surprised if it was those two, that if Nico Medved didn't get his shot at Minnesota now. So we shall see. What do we got here? Hey, George Scott is I'm in Little Rock tonight for work, but I love the pregame feeds from Geoff. I agree. Local fans are very lucky to have an award-winning reporter coming to UNM, and he's an Aggie. That's right. I am an Aggie. I know that makes so many of you so happy. Makes some of you, anybody who doesn't like the fact that I'm an Aggie, I'm guessing probably isn't watching right now. The rest of you at least tolerate it. So I appreciate you guys all for tolerating my Aggie-ness. And but yeah, Snake is here. And so are the Lobos again. For those who are just now tuning in, the only scratch that I'm aware of for the Lobos, I'm looking at them warm up right now, and it does appear that is the only one. I don't see any other surprises over there. The only scratch tonight is a big one, frankly. It's True Washington, who has been the starting two guard all season until last game against Western New Mexico. It's the first game he didn't start, but he's still getting starter minutes. He's well into the 20s in minutes. He is a defense-first two guard who can handle big physical guards, and VCU has two big physical guards. So they could use him tonight. Not sure exactly what the injury is, but I am told the official word is we're going hockey style here and not being specific. The official word is he is day-to-day with a lower body injury, and he did go through shoot-around today. It's nothing serious enough that they didn't try and get him to go, and he went through shoot-around, and they determined it just wasn't going to be a go for tonight. So there you go. Anybody else wanting some pregame coverage before tip-off, which is in about 23 minutes now here in the pit, can tune over across the way. I'm watching. See Hunter Green sitting over there, but I see Robert Portnoy doing his pregame show for 770 KKOB AM, 96.3 FM. And you can certainly follow along on social media once the game starts. I will be tweeting like crazy, way more than I possibly should be. But I will be doing that, and then you can tune into my postgame coverage on ABQJournal.com, ABQJournal.com/sports to get you there a step closer. As the band is starting to play louder, I think it's my cue to sign off. You can see me waving in the background. All right. I did not see that. Are you over there waving now? I didn't put this on earlier, but I wasn't looking at the comments. My bad. But we got some waving going on over there. Let's see, Chris, one more here. So Miles went to college in North Dakota. Would he really want to return to those winters? I sure wouldn't. I think he would love to go from San Jose State to a Big Ten paycheck. So, yeah, I'd say yes. You can buy a lot of coats with a Big Ten paycheck, and you don't need any coats out in San Jose State. So, yeah, I think Tim Miles would be willing to go back to those winters if he could. I'm an Aggie fan, Aggie alum as well. John Romero is saying on YouTube, like 100 things about you. That fact now makes 101. I appreciate that. If you can like that much about me, that's if you have 101 things you like about me, that's a good probably 99 to 100 more than my wife likes right now. So I appreciate coming here and getting to go to work where I can, escape the fact that at home I got a wife, a 5-year-old daughter, and a 15-year-old daughter. If you know anything about a 5-year-old daughter and a 15-year-old daughter, teenager, and a wife, you can expect I don't win too many arguments at home. And I'm more than happy to be here covering sports on a mic on a one-man show where I get to talk the whole time. So I'm going to sign off with that. Greg Lujan has one parting shot from YouTube. Go Lobos. Again, 20 minutes now from tip-off in the pit. UNM Lobos 8-3 hosting the VCU Rams. Very good team out of the Atlantic 10. Ryan Odom, former Utah State coach. Last I saw, the spread was still Lobos by 3.5. Ken Palm has it a lot closer. It's a 1-point game. It's going to be a tight game. It's going to be a really good one. Richard Torres missed the beginning of the show. Richard, yes, he is out tonight. No True Washington. He did go through shooting around earlier today, and they determined he was not able to go. Specifically, I don't know the reason. More generally, they're saying lower body. There is a lower body issue with True Washington, and did go through shoot around today, but was unable to go. So there we go. Follow my coverage on social media. Follow it on abqjournal.com. Appreciate you guys for watching. And until next time, thanks for watching, guys.